Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy if you think you know an answer. Put it in the chat, and when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we could all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of like a common phrase or an idiom. part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go. So I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion. So put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoy this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready because we are going to start soon. Hello, hello, hey, everybody. Hey, welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. It's like late, super late afternoon here. Hello, Jacqueline. It's good to see you. Hello. How was your day? Good evening to you. Yeah. So, like I said in the little video, I'm gonna do a little crossword today. Everybody can participate. So right now I am live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can play at any in any of those locations. So what's going to happen is yeah, we're gonna work on a crossword in a second, but I'm gonna direct the conversation. I will explain the questions. I will give some alternative clues, things like that, to help you figure out the answers along with me. And then when I see the answers shared in the chat, I will put them on the board, fill out the crossword that way. So hopefully we will be able to figure them out, figure out the question, or figure out the crossword together that way. So, you notice I haven't chosen one yet. Because I have a question. Do you want to do an easy-ish one or a hard one? Because they were all they're all kind of a little bit challenging this week. So let me know, do you feel like doing a harder one or an easier one? How do you feel? Because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to finish it anyways, but so let me know if you have a preference, if you feel like something a little bit easier, a little bit harder. Hello, Annicole, it's good to see you. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so let me know. Do you guys want to do a harder one or a little bit easier one? Because I had a really hard time picking which one to work on. So if you have a preference, let me know. Otherwise, I might just pick one at random. But yeah, they're all a little bit, they're all difficult for various reasons. Well, I was trying to just choose which one to do. You don't know. I know. Yeah, tricky. I don't know if you have a preference, Annicole. But, yeah. I wasn't sure either. I like when they're the opposite of whatever we did last time. Well, I thought that last time was pretty easy. Did you guys think that last time was pretty easy? I try to choose ones that I think that we'll all be able to complete. But, yeah, it was really tricky. Today's was easier. Tuesday's was kind of hard. So that's why I wasn't sure. And I'm not sure what tomorrow's will be like, so... let's do it though, I guess. Let's, do today's and see if we can get through it. There's some, TV trivia in here and stuff like that. Some things about The Simpsons and stuff like that. So, we might be able to get through it. Let's see. Maybe we could do it. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be able to put our heads together, figure it out. Criticize harshly. Petty. Fight. Heap. Let's do this one first. Heap should be pretty easy. A heap is kind of like, when you have a lot of things on, like, one on top of the other. Wait, I'm gonna get a picture of a heap of something. It's because we're basically looking for a synonym for a heap. Usually it's sort of a large mass of something. Like, where many things are collected together in one region. Like here, for example, here is a heap of clothes. So a heap of clothes, they're all sort of like stacked one on top of the other. A little haphazardly, that means that they're not carefully placed, they're just kind of thrown together. So, and, you know, heap can refer to kind of anything, like garbage and stuff like that too. But we're basically, yeah, we're basically looking for a synonym for, whatever we could call this. So, here's also a heap of sand. Exactly, a pile. I think this is gonna be a pile. So let's put pile in here. I think that's right. And then let's do this one. So, China setting. The setting for something usually refers to the location of something, right? Oops, the setting of something is the location of something. So we're looking for the location of China here, where we might say China is located. It's this kind of a geography question. Asia, exactly. Asia. It is in Asia. So let's the continent of Asia, as opposed to other continents. Yeah. Okay. So Asia. Step down. My neighborhood. Oh, okay, cool. Are you from Asia? Nice. It's kind of cool to see where everybody is from. Yeah, let's do this one. A little trivia. Maggie's sister. This is a character from The Simpsons. India. Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. Asia. Yes. Another country in Asia. Perfect. Yeah, so this is a this is Simpsons, little Simpsons trivia. But if you know it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just put it in. If you think you know what it is. Maggie was the baby. Very far away from maybe. I know, very far away from here too. Yeah. Yeah. It must be very early in the morning there in India, isn't it? I feel like there's like a 12-hour difference between here and Canada. Oh. And I know it's really late, pretty late in Europe. What is it, like 5? Or no, like 10 p.m. right now in France, I think. It's 5 p.m. here in Canada. Anyways, I'm gonna put this in here. This is Lisa. Let's so I'm gonna put Lisa in here. 2:40 a.m. Oh, okay. That's not super bad then. I was thinking it was like maybe 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or something. No, okay. I guess that would be like more like China. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. What else do we have here? So, petty fight. Let's, we might do this one. Word for a petty fight. If you're being petty, you're kind of thinking about things that are kind of not really, or picking on things that are not really important, I guess, basically. Yeah, things that tend to be petty is not really important or not worth giving attention to. So basically a petty fight, maybe just like a fight over basically nothing, right? You know, there's some people that love to create little problems, right? So maybe a small fight over nothing significant. Yeah, a little fight over something significant. Almost like maybe a little argument or something. Usually this is usually a short argument too, over something not super important. Yeah, a short argument. Argument usually about nothing important. And when I say argument here, I mean like a fight, like a verbal fight. I know sometimes people confuse the word argument with the word subject because they're kind of false friends in some languages. But when we talk about an argument, we're talking about maybe a disagreement or something, like a verbal disagreement. Anyways, this one here, this is a spat. A spat. would be a short little argument. I'm gonna put this in a sentence so we can see how we might use this. So she was having a spat with her brother about who should do the washing up. So they were having this little silly argument over something so silly about who's going to wash the dishes, basically, or do the cleaning up. So they had a little spat about it. Spar is also sort of a type of fight as well, too. But usually we would use spar as a verb, and to spar with someone kind of means to almost like a fist fight with them, but for practice, basically. If that makes sense. So, and we would use that as a verb. Yeah, so to spar with someone. Yeah, basically to, means to practice, like punching, like boxing, without, hitting hard, basically. So just for practice, right? So that's what it means to spar. And you can also verbally spar as well, which also means to argue. So here, for example, maybe in this little sentence here, so Frank and Jill always spar with each other at meetings, but they are really good friends, so they have like a little argument at meetings. So we could also use it that way. But typically, this is what it means to sort of practice fighting with another person. All right, so I'm gonna put spat in here. Criticize harshly. Step down. Yes, it'll be so tricky today. Squeals. Maybe we could do this one. This spaghetti topper. So topper is something that goes on top of something else. Something that goes on top of something else. And in this case, we were talking about like a classic like American style spaghetti, because I know it's a little like authentic spaghetti. It's a little bit different from the American style spaghetti, but there's something specific that you might find, especially with American spaghetti. I'm gonna get a picture. They're kind of like have these big balls of meat, almost. Which I think is the answer for this one. Like in this picture here, you see they have like these big globs of... Anyways, I think we're looking for the word for that, one of those things. Ew. A meatball. Yeah, meatballs, exactly. Yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. It's a very classic American dish, and it's kind of a take on like traditional spaghetti, right? So let's put meatball in here. And let's see what else here. Criticize sharply. Yeah, so these are gonna be kind of tricky today. Let's do the easy ones, maybe. If there are easy ones. They're kind of tricky today. Porkers. Oh. I think a porker, so a pork, or pork rather, right? That's meat that comes from a pig, right? So porkers here, I think they're referring to the animal. We want another synonym, like another word for a pig. And this one might be we might not know this one. It starts with an S. I'll give you that much, that it starts with an S. And often we see this word used mostly when, you know how there's like bird flu, for example, that comes from, or avian flu that comes from birds, right? Well, there is also one for the flu that originates from pigs. So we often use this word, like this word is used in that, the name of that flu. I don't know if that helps. It's like an illness, basically. Swine, exactly. Yes, swine. And yeah, we really, I mean, it mostly gets used when we're talking about swine flu or something like that. But yeah, let's put swine in here. Great job. Yeah. Yeah, another way that we could refer to pigs. Official. Stove to a Brett. Let's do this one. Let's make missteps. Because this one is in the crossword often. If you make a misstep, basically you make a mistake, right? So that could be like, sort of another way to sort of say it, a less common way to refer to making a mistake, right? But we're looking for a verb here. Make a mistake. And I like this little prefix here. This here means to do something as an error. So you can you can you know, he misspoke, or yeah, you can misspeak, basically make an error while you were speaking. You can misstep. And yeah, exactly, error. So let's put error in here. Okay. And then I don't know. Writer Virginia. Great. Okay, today. I'm just gonna put this in here. So this one here is originally called. So on your identification, did we do this one? We did this this before. But I don't think we've done this crossword. This is crosswords from today. Yeah. But yeah, this answer shows up a lot in the crossword. It's a good crossword word. I'm gonna say this one here, this originally called thing. So on your identification, if at any point you need to change your name, they will write NEE next to it. I don't even know what this means exactly, but it's like, I don't know. It signifies that your name was changed or something. I don't know what this means, but that's what that is. A game official. Okay, so somebody who does something important in a video game, or in a game, like sports game. You know, there's like the referee, for example. That's an example of an official. Basically somebody who has some sort of official say over determining if points are good, things like that. Determining who wins the game, right? So there's like the referee, maybe like the umpire, for example. Obviously those two don't fit, but I think this one here is actually like the name. What we might call a person who manages, or who decides who gets points, maybe. Right? So when you're playing, when when you're playing a sport or playing any game, right, you might try to get points, right? So, and, this word kind of has like a similar base word, just related to the, you know, if we were to think about like the base verb, right? The verb for basically getting a point while playing a game. I don't know if that helps. A scorer, yeah, exactly. So a scorer might be the person who decides who gets the points, and obviously you would score a point or score a goal, for example, while we are playing. So let's do that. Yeah, great job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Berate. Berate. If you berate somebody, you basically yell at them, kind of. Like maybe they did something really wrong, and then you would criticize them in a very angry, like in a very angry manner. So to berate someone means to criticize someone in an angry manner, right? So, for example, I mean, here isn't a here's kind of berate in a sentence here, so we can see how it's used. So he left the meeting. He was berated by angry demonstrators. So they were kind of yelling at him and stuff like that. Yeah, so our answer, yeah, so yell, scold, exactly. Yeah, to scold someone also means to sort of talk to somebody sort of angrily, usually because they disappointed you, right? So speak to someone angrily, how is this, in an angry way, usually because they did something wrong. So you might scold your children if they get in trouble, right? Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, so that's a great word to know. Great job. Stove to a bed. Okay. Yeah, so this is a little bit informal. But some people might, I mean, even here, some people might refer to a stove in this way. But, so an informal way, or a formal name for a stove, right? The base word here kind of tells us what we might use a stove for, if that helps. So, something like that. So maybe we could think about it like in that way, maybe. Or like the root word, base word, root word. So I have a guess. A cooker, exactly. So here we don't really call it a cooker. But according to this, at least that is a little bit common to a Brit in the UK. I'm not 100% sure if that is true or not. I've not lived in the UK, but I would imagine it. I think I've heard that before. So, anyways, yeah. And looks over. Yeah, so looks over. Let's see something. I guess we can put an S here since we know that there is an S. But if you look something over, you might look at it really quickly, right? Nope, Brits are weird. Yeah. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't call it a cooker, but maybe they do. Here in Canada, we do not. We definitely have a few things that we might like have cooker in the name, but we typically call the stove a stove. Yeah. So maybe it looks, maybe reviews something kind of quickly, you know, not by reading everything or analyzing everything in detail, but kind of like looking at something really quickly. So basically looking for, it's a verb. We want a verb here. It means to look over something. Basically to kind of like pass your eyes over something. Maybe without focusing on all the details. For example, exactly, we're gonna like scan something. So that means to kind of look through over something. Maybe just to get an idea about what it's about, or without, you know, examining it in detail. Scans, exactly. This one here, this writer, Virginia. If you know what this one is, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna pop it in, because that will help us. Virginia. Virginia Woolf, exactly. Alright, so let's put it in here. Alright. There you go. Perfect. Alright, yeah, so let's do this one then. So end of a voyage. I'm gonna give you a little hint. There's like so sometimes there are patterns in this crossword where certain clues will maybe have a similar, they will follow a similar pattern or sort of have a theme. I think these ones all kind of end with like a similar word. So this one here, they all kind of have similar sounds. So I'll give you that clue here. And I think here, L-A-N-D-F something. I think we're talking about a voyage. We're talking about a really big trip, right? A really long, maybe arduous trip. Arduous as in is a difficult trip, maybe. And I think this actually refers to not just any trip, but maybe a trip on a plane. So, so maybe this would be or this would happen at the end of a trip on a plane. So, like, what happens right at the end, maybe? Right at the end of the trip. It's kind of a compound noun. But something about it returning to Earth, basically. And I think it's one word. Yeah, it is. So it is actually one word, but it is a compound noun, so that might help a bit. But it is one word. Yeah. Yeah, basically returning to Earth. Basically. We might say that at the end of a trip, a plane makes whatever this is. Land something. Yeah, so land is definitely the first half here. The land Any guesses as to what the second half might be? Let's put land in here. So this one is gonna be landfall. So landfall, a plane would make landfall, and that is the collocation. Like that is how we would use it. Something makes landfall, but it basically means that it returns to Earth after maybe being up in the air. Here's the official word for it. So the first land that is reached or seen at the end of a journey across the sea or through the air, or the fact of just arriving there. So I'll put it in a sentence here. So after a long and grueling flight, so grueling flight, really difficult, brutal, tiring. After a long and grueling flight, they finally made landfall in Florida. Sounds like a disaster happening. Yeah, well, you know what, too? They will talk about hurricanes making landfall as well, or cyclones. So things like that. Landing is cut it off. Yeah, landfall does sound a little bit ominous, doesn't it? But they will talk about also storms, like hurricanes and stuff like that, making landfall. So when it comes, when it moves from the ocean and finally touches down over the land, they would also say that it makes landfall. So we would use that for those kinds of natural disasters. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. And also here too, this is kind of like a great collocation. Something is long and grueling. So it takes a really long time and is really difficult and is really tiring. We might say that something is like really long and grueling. So yeah. All right, cool. So let's put landfall in here. Squeals. Oh, I wonder if we'd be able to do this. So, like, squeal is usually maybe a noise that an animal makes, right? But we might say that somebody squeals if they reveal a secret. Maybe. Someone who maybe squeals, reveals a secret. And usually not just any secret, usually about a crime, typically, or something like that. So, yeah, typically maybe like a criminal that's involved in a crime or something, they may like squeal to the authorities and basically tell them that something bad is happening. So this is kind of like a similar word here too. Just basically for maybe, maybe like, you know, informing somebody something bad has happened or something. Here's the official definition here, actually, about squeals, because it's kind of a good one. So to give people information to the police about people, you know, who have committed a crime, but basically tells someone that something bad has happened. Essentially, that should be a secret. So another like little you know, tell somebody, you maybe like tell on somebody. That's also how we would say it. So here you go. Secretly tell someone in authority, maybe a teacher, that's someone else has done something bad. So something like that. There's some tricky words in here today. So not tantals. We're kind of close though. We do need an E here. We need an E here. So I'll put the E in here. This is going to be tattles. So if you tattle on someone, you secretly tell an authority that somebody else has done something bad. So either, yeah, to tattle, oops, to tattle on someone. So you would say that that person did something bad, or we could also just tell on someone as well. Has the same meaning, basically to reveal that somebody has done something bad. So maybe they should get in trouble for that. So usually kids might, you know, children might tattle on one another. You know, maybe they'll, like, one kid will do something they don't want their parents to know, and then the other kid will go and they will tell the parents, get their sibling in trouble. So that's kind of what it means to tattle on someone else. So get them in trouble that way. Yeah, and maybe we hate this one. I don't know. But so criticize. If you criticize something, right, you say kind of bad, like negative things about something. And if we do something really harshly, you know, maybe we're a bit mean, we're you know, we're strongly criticizing them. I don't know if we're gonna know this though, at least in this context. But this word definitely means, yeah, to criticize. Criticize someone or something harshly. I feel like this word we might use for reviews or something like that, like when writers are reviewing things, and then if something is a negative review, we might use this word. So maybe like, yeah, to give a negative review about something. So to criticize it harshly. Yeah. Slam, yeah. We would slam something. Yeah, and I'll put it in a sentence for you guys. Here we go. So although the reviewers slammed the play, so although they said all sorts of negative, terrible things about the play, said it was horrible, the audience loved it. Yeah, so so the slam something means to give a really negative review. Awesome. And I would never use this, so we're not going to talk about it. Another Simpsons reference here. So, because I think we had Maggie's sister here, Maggie's brother. If you know who Maggie's brother is, let me know. Otherwise, I will just pop it in here. Because I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe we could do this one, actually. So if you know this one, let me know. But this one here, takes the wheel, means to basically operate, choose a direction that something goes, maybe like a car, right? Like a car would have a wheel, for example. That is Bart, exactly. Yeah, let's put Bart in here. And then, yeah, basically, almost like, you know, takes the wheel of a vehicle, basically. Takes the wheel of a vehicle to you know, determine where it goes. So slammed is used here, similar to banged, like a past word of action. He banged or slammed the door on him. Yeah, so we could also do that as well. Yeah, to slam a door means to shut it really quickly, so it makes a lot of noise. And you could also say bang as well too. You would bang the door. For me, I wouldn't use bang very often in that way, but you can use it that way. I would use slammed more often. So that would be my preference. But yeah, slam the door, bang the door, basically shut it. In a very noisy, loud way. Yeah, so it takes the wheels of the vehicle, like a car, for example, to determine where it goes. The direction that it goes. So whatever that verb is. Kind of like a driving verb, basically. Verb about driving. That's basically like control. Yeah, control the direction. Verb about controlling the direction of a vehicle. Give you a hint, starts with an S. We want an S here. I'm gonna put an S here. Yep. So you're gonna take the wheel and you're going to, like, you know, use it to control where the car is going, the direction of the car. You are going to steer it. Steer is our verb here. So you would steer a car. Steer a car. And this actually kind of makes me think of another sort of like a phrase that we would use with steer in it. To steer clear of something means to avoid it. So that is kind of a fun little phrase where we see this. So his parents warned him to steer clear of trouble. So just basically to avoid getting into trouble, right? So don't go near it. Or here as well too. Police have asked the public to, oh, sorry. Well, steer, well, they say keep clear, but steer clear of the crime scene. Yeah, so that is a way that we would use this. And that's kind of a nice one, to steer clear of something. All right, yeah. Okay. I feel like this is gonna be a new word for us. This might be a new word. Maybe. But we might know this one. This muscle quality. When we're talking about, like, the quality, maybe like how muscular somebody is, like their body, there's kind of like this word that we might use. Refers to maybe the to what the muscles are like on a body. Let me get a better definition. Yeah, there we go. It's like the health, like the tightness of the body, basically. There you go. Refers to healthy tightness of the body, right? Usually the muscles or whatever like that. So there's kind of a word that we might use. And here we're using it as a noun, right? But it's also common to use this in a sort of a passive form, you know, or like I want to get like maybe whatever this is, so I'm going to work out at the gym every day. Or you could also you could also maybe like, is that right? Ugh. You could also whatever a part of your body, for example, like maybe your stomach or something like that, so make it a little bit tighter, stuff like that. Maybe I'll get like a picture. Oh. Da-da-da. Kind of like maybe what this person is kind of like doing, right? It's like working out, so his body very muscular, right? And then yeah, we might use this word to kind of describe that, like the quality of the muscles and stuff like that. Anyways, this word is going to be tone. We'll talk about muscle tone, for example. So just how sort of tight the muscles are and things like that. So I want to get toned. For example, I want to get a body like this. Gonna go work out at the gym every day. Or we also might tone a part of your body. Maybe. So, develop the muscles and things in that particular area. What tone in here? No, we're gonna know that one. No, we're gonna know this one. And this one's German. If you guys know German. German word for one. I think what that is. And I don't know, we're gonna know this one. This one here means to basically raise something in the air, but often by using maybe ropes or something, kind of. Yeah. So like, okay, guys, let's put this in here because that'll help. Let's put that in here. So yeah, this is tricky. Maybe boost. No, we have so we have this something O-I-S-T, but this might be a new word, but it basically means, yeah, to lift something heavy. And yeah, often maybe with ropes or maybe a machine or something, because it is so heavy, but to basically to raise it, to lift it up. Somebody, I figured there would be a lot of new, well, all of these crosswords were hard. There were like so many new words for us. But, yeah. Something heavy. Really using ropes. Hoist. Yes. Oh yeah, we could also use it while, yes, you would hoist a flag as well. Yes, definitely. Another way that we could use it. I was thinking about like lifting something really heavy. But yeah, we could also use it. Hoist for raising a flag. Nice one. Nice. And now this here. So, okay, so maybe you'll know who writer Radcliffe is. If you know who writer Radcliffe is, let me know. Or maybe if you have a guess as to what this name is, could also do this. But this here kind of has a, this is like a pillow. It's one of those fluffy, like a fluffy thing you would put your head on when you are sleeping, for example, right? And then there are, you know, coverings that you might put over top of your pillows, right? And they're typically these, like this here is kind of like almost like usually like a decorative one, I think. I feel like I should double check. Is it just like a pillow? So this one's Anne. Yes. Okay. So so that's useful. So we have Anne, and then the only Radcliffe I know is Harry Potter. I know, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't know who the writer is, but I do a lot of educated guesses when it comes to figuring out the names in the crossword, because I'm not good with trivia and stuff. I thought that this was like a sort of like a decorative pillow cover, but I could be wrong. I'm not really into decorating. I don't decorate anything. But it's sort of like a decorative sort of like pillow. Anyways, this word is sham. A sham. Let's forget about it. They're kind of like fancy pillows you might use because they're decorative. You wouldn't really sleep on them. It's like a decorative pillow cover. Like you can see these ones here. They're kind of decorative. So that is a pillow sham. Or like these ones, for example. Also a pillow sham. So a little different from a pillowcase, right? Because a pillowcase would just be something more that you would use for actually sleeping on, whereas a sham is more decorative. You wouldn't really sleep on it. So anyways, what else do we have here? Burn with water. So if you drop something really, really hot, oh, sham in your native language means evening. Yeah, nice. I was thinking like there was a better words for, or there are other meanings of this word that are more useful, but if something is fake, if something turns out to be fake, like a person, you would say it was a sham. So that could be something. Which I almost feel like for me is more like that's how I would use it. Like here, for example, it turned out that he wasn't a real doctor at all. He was just a sham, so he was just a fake. So we might use it that way. So something that is not what it seems to be and is intended to deceive people, or people who pretend that they are somebody they are not actually. So you might also hear about sham elections as well too, when something happened, and kind of like fake elections. That's kind of another way. They claimed that the election had been fair, but it was actually a sham. It was a rigged election. So that's kind of interesting. Anyways, burn with water. So if you dump something really hot on yourself, yeah, to burn yourself with really hot water. And I mean like boiling water. So there's kind of there's a specific word we might use to refer to those kinds of burns that happens with a really hot liquid, typically. Or steam as well too, I suppose. I always think liquid. Yeah. Burn the skin with boiling liquid or steam. starts with an S. I will give you an S, because this might be a tricky word. I'll put that there. We might also actually use this word too. In the adjective form. So for example, whatever. Dun, dun, dun. So for example, holding, whatever, pressing hot water, for example. So extremely hot water. So we might use this, whatever this verb is, we'll use it here as well too, to refer to say that something is really, 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 really hot. Okay. It ends in a D. Oh, I could put a D here. Put a D. This might be a new word. And two, we might see this too when we're talking about cooking. I don't know if you guys cook. Anyways, this here, we're gonna scald ourselves. If you scald yourself with hot water, or I don't know, just something really, really hot, some sort of hot liquid or some steam, it means that you burn yourself. So, and we might say that water is scalding hot, for example, which means that it's extremely hot. It can burn yourself. It can burn you, so you should be really careful. All right. So let's do that. Got together. Here's an easy one. Finally got together. So people came together. Obviously, too, we're looking for the past form of a verb here, because we have got here instead of get. But they came together, basically. Maybe multiple people came together. So they could all kind of, see each other, talk to each other. Something like that. Met, exactly. So met. Finally, something not too weird. So like this. All of these words. But that's alright though. We're learning some cool ones, like scalding is kind of a cool one. I like this use of sham, actually. When something is fake. It was all a sham. That's a good one. Cut dramatically and vanishes. Yes. Glamour. What's after? I think we should probably will know this one. Yeah, let's do cut dramatically. I don't know. I think we'd be able to do this one though. We should be able to do this one, I think. So looks after kind of means to care for something, right? I'm gonna put an S in here. So we have it here. T something something. D S. Yeah, basically takes care of. You know, we might use this word for taking care of children, maybe? Something like that. It's still a little outdated, I would say. Maybe taking care of children, or maybe like, just just making sure that something is okay. Kind of like you keep a watchful eye on something. Yeah. Yeah, basically like another little word that means to care for something. It's kind of formal. This is a very formal word. I wouldn't necessarily use this in my day-to-day. We might say that, you know, in the hospital they might... Oh, you can't see it. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Alright. Thanks for letting me know. I wasn't looking. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Whatever this is. We might say that, you know, maybe you would go to the hospital and then the nurses would whatever to the patients, something like that, you know. Something like that, maybe. God needs to take care of them. Something like that. Or you might, you know, parents may thing to the baby. I notice here too that I'm pairing this with this preposition. You tend, you do this to something. Whatever this is, do something. So I think this one here, this is going to be tends. So tend to something. Kind of a formal way to say that you take care of something. So nurses, you know, will tend to the patients to take care of it, or, you know, parents may tend to their baby, for example. So they'll take care of it, look after it. You can tend to your plants, for example. Take care of your plants. Yeah. How I use it. Actually, I guess we don't even necessarily need this preposition. I would. But you could also just like tend the baby, tend the patients. I like to use it with the preposition. Anyways, tens. Tens is gonna be our answer here. And this here, so banishes. If you banish something from, you know, you kick them out, kind of, basically. So if you banish someone from somewhere, you almost like forcefully remove them from that location. So they're not allowed to be there. So we're kind of looking for sort of a similar word. I could put an S here. Exiles, exactly. Exiles is gonna be our word here. Basically, yeah, kept away. Maybe from somebody is exiled from their country. They're like kicked out of their country, basically. Nice. Yeah, so you get exiled, you get kicked out, basically. If you get exiled, you get kicked out. That's how I would say it. That is a phrasal verb I would use to refer to exile. Exile is very formal. This is a lot more casual. Yeah. You can also get kicked out of places anyways if you're just like forcefully removed. Like you get kicked out of a bar, for example, for unruly behavior. Maybe kicked out of school, something like that. Maybe you were bad Didn't show up enough. They'll tell you you can't come back. You get kicked out. This one here, cut dramatically. So sometimes they will use this word, this here is a verb. But it might get used for, often maybe for like cutting jobs, actually. This verb often gets used when talking about companies laying off employees. But yeah, basically making those very dramatic cuts, those changes, right? Axe, yeah. Exactly. And the British exiled Napoleon, exactly. Yeah, he got kicked out. Yes. Exactly. So axe here, exactly. Dramatic cuts. You could like, I guess you could like axe your taxes. I wouldn't say that, but employees will get axed if they get laid off. That's a way that we would talk about that. This is kind of informal. But yeah, basically it means that they're no longer welcome. Clamor. What is this? Abodes. You know what an abode is? An abode is a place where somebody lives. So we're basically looking for like a word about where these are places where people live. And I think I talked about this a little bit last time. Because there's really only one phrase I feel like I would use this word, but I might say, "Welcome to my humble abode." If somebody came into my home, and this is a little bit humorous, right? But just basically like, "Hey, welcome to where I live," basically. So we're looking for a word about where people live, essentially. So places where people live, homes, exactly. So homes, H-O-M, yes. And abodes, like I said, it's kind of I wouldn't use that very often, but it does mean home. So welcome to my humble abode, welcome to my home. Make yourself comfortable. That would be the next thing that I would probably say. We could also say make yourself at home. That's another common thing we might say as well too. So basically, you know, use my home, how you would use it. Also home sweet home, yeah, talking about the place just like where you live, the place where you feel most at home, right? There's no other location like home, right? Nothing like it. Exactly. There's action. And hey, units. Hay being, you know, kind of dried grass that you would feed to animals, right? And there's kind of like this word for when they're all, when the grass is all, or when the hay is all put together into, you know, these kind of like these round cylindrical things. So something cylindrical, like a cylinder. But whatever these are. Yes. Basically, yeah. Units of hay, whatever we would call these little things. I say these little things. These things are massive. Or at least the ones that we have around here are really massive. Like, they're really huge. They could also be in little squares as well. So they don't necessarily have to be round ones. These also count as well. Starts with a B. I'll put a B in here. B. Basically a B of hay, essentially. Sort of a container word, right? Because hay is uncountable. Well, like a measurement word, kind of. Anyways, these things are called bales. A bale of hay. So a bale of hay, like that. I think yes, did I spell that right? I did. A-L-E. So let's put bales in here. Maybe we could just guess what this is. So a title. Well, it's a title, right? So a title, you know, like Miss and Sir and Doctor. Those are all titles, right? Yeah. A something. Hey, Madame, exactly, Madame, or Madam, depending on your pronunciation. I guess Madam is more common. Madame or Madam, yeah, nice. So Madam, awesome, awesome, awesome. Auction cry, baseball employee. Most common mineral found in the human body. And Madame, this was a famous. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I had no idea. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I did not know that. Very cool. I love how you just know all these things. So that's really great. That's super helpful. Cause I like never know. I really know. So great. Super useful. Alright. What do we have here? So an auction is like when usually when people so when there are things that can be bought, for example, and then people will bid on them. So basically an auction is an event where people can buy things. They basically compete. They compete with other buyers by making bids. Basically, a bid is an offer for how much they might pay for something. And then at the end, usually at the end of an auction, somebody will win whatever is available. So at the end of the auction, someone will win, and the auctioneer is the person who's basically managing the auction, will say whatever this word is. Whatever this word is. To signify that the item has been bought. Something. Something like that. So, at the end of the auction, once the buyer has been chosen, basically, we'll be like, alright, it's done. Whatever this word is. Starts with an S. I'll put an S here. Put an exclamation mark here as well, too. That was usually pretty exciting. So exactly, they will be like, sold. It is sold. The item is sold. Because they would sell the item to the highest bidder, so they'll be like, sold once it is done. All right, also great job. So is it modest? So if you're modest, if you are a very modest person, you are kind of a bit humble, maybe you're a bit quiet about your accomplishments and the things you do, right? You're quiet about your accomplishments and your abilities, right? You don't really, you might be hesitant to talk about them. So somebody who isn't modest is the opposite. They are very loud. They are very vocal about how amazing they are. Maybe they like to talk about all of their accomplishments, all of the amazing things that they've done, all the awesome things that they own, that sort of thing. Yeah, so we want a verb here, basically. And I think it's gonna be an S here. Yeah. Yeah, something basically here. So basically talks really loudly about how awesome they are, how many great things they own, or how, you know, how all their accomplishments. Kind of like to brag, right? Very similar word, to brag about something as well, right? To sort of tell everybody how amazing you are. Yes, to speak too proudly or happily about what you've done or what you own. That is the official definition here. Whatever this is. So this one here is going to be boast. You would boast about your accomplishments, or maybe boast about something. See, but I don't remember it anymore. Yeah, no, that's okay. Good, it's a good little word. Boast about something. So boasts, brag, boasts and brags have very similar meaning. Boast or brag about something. Here we go. Here, I'll just put it in a sentence. So we gotta have parents enjoy boasting about their children's achievements. They love talking about how amazing the achievements that their children have. Yeah, so boasts. Gonna be that one. I don't know what this one is. Singer. I spelled it wrong. Do we know this one? The Singer Tory. We have Singer Tory. And the sound that a cow makes. Cattle is another way to refer to like cows and bulls and bovine, basically, right? Another word for cows or bulls. And I said bovine. Similar to swine is another way that we could refer to cattle. And so this is a sound. The sound that a cow... the sound that a cow makes. The sound that a cow makes. Maybe I'll put this in here. This is Tori Amos. Amos? I think that's it. Is that right? So super close. This is going to be, so mow is actually, so like what you said, mow is actually means to mow means to cut, usually grass, typically. That's that. You're close though. It is moo. A cow goes moo, we might say. So I'll put that one in here. And I think we're getting this one actually, just like another word for a bunch. So when you have many things, right? So if you have a bunch of things, it means you have many things. So just another word for having many things. Lots, exactly. So let's put lots in here. Fruit. Team. I think this is gonna be a lout. I don't think we know this word. It's kind of like I wouldn't use this word very often. But somebody who's a lout. Somebody who's very rude, offensive, maybe violent, but maybe also just kind of not too intelligent. Yeah, and the pronunciation for that is lout. Yeah, even though it doesn't look like that at all, but that is lout. Common mineral in the human body. Concerning. Meant. Format. Got it. Let's do this one first. Let's do this one first. If you say got it, right, you would probably say that at the end of an explanation that somebody was giving you. So maybe they were telling you a bunch of information. If someone were telling you a lot of information, at the end you might say got it to indicate that you understand. And I think this here is going to be another similar phrase we might use. 2 words. Also to indicate that we understand, or we have understood what the person just said. So another phrase. So another phrase indicating understanding. We would use just to acknowledge that we have heard them and we understand what they are saying. Maybe understand their point. I'm gonna put the pronoun in here. So I, something. got. Let's say I got, but, or you might say got it. Well, that's kind of what got it means anyways, too. It's just that, like, the I has been, like, we don't say the I. So, got it. I got it. I understand it. We might say I see. I see. I see. So let's put I see in here. Salt Lake City team, we're gonna ignore that one. I think we can guess as to what this one is, actually. So a GI, it's like a military personnel. So maybe a soldier or something like that. Something about a military at a place where they might go to eat because it's a cafeteria, right? So cafeteria. A place where you can get food, right? A mess hall, exactly. Mess hall. Let's put mess hall in here. So they're gonna go to the mess hall, get something to eat. In this one here, telemarketers action. A telemarketer, someone who sells things over the phone. So there is something that they do, what we might call COLD. I think it's one word. Or maybe it's like one or two words, depending if it's used as a noun or used as a verb. But there is a type of thing that they do. A type of, yeah, cold call, exactly. Basically a phone call they make. And a cold call is, a call you make to someone you don't know, right? So when you have a stranger, so when telemarketers, like a stranger, when they call you, you don't know who they are, that is a cold call. So yeah, so telemarketers will make cold calls. They will call people they do not know personally, and they will try to maybe sell them something or do a survey, something like that. So that is a cold call. And they are terrible. I hate them. Alright. Yes. So close here. I think we have enough information that we can figure this one out now. I just wanted to get more stuff in here. But this most common mineral in the human body. LCI something. This mineral, I believe, is important. Every day I have cold calls, but I don't answer them. I am the same. I never answer. Like, if it doesn't say who it's from, I never answer it. Calcium, exactly. I was gonna say this mineral is important for bones and teeth, I believe. Oh no, yeah. Bones and teeth. But calcium, exactly. Calcium is gonna be super important mineral. So, calcium. And a forest growth. So growth, something that grows somewhere, right? I think this stuff, it's like a plant. It's almost like a plant. Type of plant. At least I think it's a plant. Yeah. A type of plant that basically grows on the forest floor. You know what they say? At least what they say here. They say it grows on the north side of trees because it doesn't need a lot of sunlight to grow. North side of trees because it does not need a lot of sunlight to grow. Yeah, we have a lot of forest here in Canada. So when I was a kid, they would be like, "Oh, check the, if you're not sure, if you're like in the middle of the forest somewhere and you have no idea where to go, you could use this to get a sense of, where, north and south and east and west are." So super close. There is an S and an S here. Very close. Super close. I'm gonna get a picture. Dun, dun. Yeah, it kind of grows in very like damp, wet areas that typically lack sunlight. And this stuff is moss. That is what it is called, moss. So yeah, and it grows on the north side of the tree. So if you need to know where the other compass directions are, or generally where you're going, you could use it to help figure that out. What else here? I don't know what this one is. This is where this is gonna get tricky. Smaller about. We should be able to get this one. So smaller about. I think this one's pretty obvious. So used to indicate a smaller amount, basically. A smaller amount. Basically not as much as you had previously, right? Basically the opposite. Yeah, it's like used for making comparisons, right? I think that's why there's smaller here, right? Because they're talking about comparing and contrasting things, right? The opposite of more, right? It's gonna be less. Let's put less in here. We're so close. I don't know what this is. But I think we could do this, maybe? It's kind of, it kind of means, like, about, kind of. 2 words. 2 words. It's gonna give a little gap fill. I think I just ruined it. Anyways. So just basically another way of saying about, for example. Like here, for example, he was uncertain as whatever, which road to take. That is like two words. Anyways, I already said it. So maybe I should just put it in. Anyways, as to, so he was uncertain as to which road to take, or just basically another way to say he was uncertain about which road to take. So that's how we might use this little phrase here. As to I don't know what this is, the sediment thing, but I know that this team here, I don't even know how to say this, but it's an E. Anyways, tough one. That was kind of hard today, wasn't it? Did you guys enjoy the harder crossword? Because it was a little bit tricky. I try to pick ones that I think are a little bit easier. But there weren't many options, better options today. Not... Is it? Oh, it might be an Indian tribe. I have no idea. Could be. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder. Actually, that's interesting. So I wonder if maybe this is actually taken from the name of the tribe. I wonder if they like live in that region, maybe, eh? That's interesting. Yeah. I'm just curious now. I'm just like looking. Yeah, I guess yeah, they were indigenous people of like the Great Basin, the Colorado Plateau, so which is now Utah, Colorado region. So that's interesting. Salt Lake City is located in Utah, I believe. Isn't it? No, is it, or is it Nevada? Salt Lake City, Utah. It is Utah. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Anyways, well, thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it. This was a really hard one today, so I'm glad that we were able to get through it. Yeah, so I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your help. I appreciate you coming out. I'm gonna do another crossword tomorrow in the morning. So at 1300 UTC. Well, it's morning for me. It is not morning for you guys. So tomorrow at 1300 UTC, I'm gonna do tomorrow at 1300 UTC. I will be doing another crossword. And then I am going away for a week. So there will be no crossword the following week, but then I'm coming back. And then I will do more crosswords. So thanks again for your participation. I really appreciate it. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Give it a bit of a like. Feel free to tell other people about this as well too. I would love to get more people on board. So I need to keep working on that. But yeah, this is really great though. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a really good evening. Then, and I will see you guys tomorrow, or I will see you when I come back on my trip. 1400 Paris time. Yes. Okay. Exactly. Perfect. All right. Cool. 9 a.m. here. Kind of early. Oh, I'll be a little bit late too. I'm just thinking about that because I have a class that ends at 9. But I will be here. Anyways. All right. Bye, everybody. Okay. Bye.